I was listening to the story about, it was a story of a family in Washington, and the little boy called the Bigfoot the Cowboy Man. And he had, apparently it had made an effort to steal this kid. And it hit me. My children were in that playpen behind me with nothing but a mosquito net over them. It could have crept up behind me and taken both of my children, and I wouldn't have known.
Father just got like a Mustang or something from Wyoming, okay? He had it out in the corral because he couldn't put it in the barn in the stalls with the other horses. It would kick and made all the other horses nervous. Had a Seminole Indian working the horse trying to break it every day. So they had it out in the corral. This skunk ape snuck up behind this horse and grabbed it on its hind quarters. This particular horse kicks out, jumps over the corral, runs into the pasture, to get away. At this point, the rancher's out there just blasted away with the 30-30. Skunk ape runs into the swamp.
I went up there one day after that, or 2 days after that. I went up there and sat in the silence up there, and I'm telling you, man, it was free. It was crazy. There was a crazy vibe up there still. I did what I could to kind of get things under control, but I told her, I said, you need to get off this property. I feel like no matter how strong you are, it's almost like standing in the ocean. You can't stand still without moving your feet. You're going to get knocked over eventually, no matter how strong, whatever. You can't withstand a barrage of weird spiritual energy.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Paranormal Odyssey. Got a couple of short stories I want to share with you today, and I emphasize short. That's why I put two of them together. Just wanted to make it a little bit longer than 3 or 4 minutes. So combined a couple of them. Again, a couple more that I wasn't very familiar with, and I think you guys are gonna like them. I'm not going to waste a whole lot of time before we get started. I did want to let everybody know that our new Paranormal Odyssey logo t-shirts are out. I'm actually wearing one right now. You can't see it, but throw a picture up right here. Yeah, I just got mine in yesterday, and I can't brag enough about them. I mean, the quality is great. They're extremely comfortable. They're good, thick t-shirts. The logo, the patch doesn't really feel like a iron-on patch. It almost feels like a part of the shirt. It's just really, really good quality. I picked up a few of these and want to invite you guys to, if you don't mind and you want to show some support for the show, that's a good way of doing it. They're not very expensive either. A lot better than a lot of these merch companies, I can tell you that. So yeah, if you want to head over to our website, go to the merch section and pick up some shirts. I would appreciate it. All right, got that out of the way. I think we're just gonna jump into it. The first one that I want to share with you guys tonight, I got this article from Puzzle Box Horror. I want to make sure I give those guys credit. Yeah, this one is on the Basano Vase. The first account comes from a small town north of Napoli, Italy, in the 15th century. According to the legend, a young bride was given the vase before her wedding. Sadly, she never made it down the aisle, as she died the night before her wedding. Whether her death came as a result of murder or natural causes are not known. The vase was supposedly given to a family member. That family member died shortly after receiving the vase. The vase was passed to another family member, and that person also died shortly after receiving it. The vase was then passed to a few more family members, and they also died after getting the vase. The family realized that the vase and the subsequent deaths were linked. With this realization, they decided to hide it away so no one else would come in contact with it. It stayed hidden until 1988. With its resurface came the cloud of death that consumed its owners. According to the legend, the vase was dug up by a young man from an unknown place. The vase allegedly came with a note that read, "Beware, this vase brings death." The note was disregarded and the vase was put up for auction anyway. The vase was sold to a pharmacist. He died 3 months later. His family then sold it to a surgeon. The surgeon didn't believe in curses or the paranormal. His skepticism did not protect him from the curse. He died at the age of 37, 2 months after buying the vase. Then the vase was sold to an archaeologist who wanted to add the vase to his collection. A few months later, the archaeologist died from an unknown infection. By this time, the vase had gotten a deadly reputation, but the family was still able to sell it. The curse was felt by the new owners, and they too tried to sell it, but by then the reputation of the vase was well known. No one would take the vase, so the family threw it out the window. It struck someone. Of course it did. While they were fined for littering, the family refused to take the vase back. The officer who fined the family wanted to put it in a museum, but no museum would take it. Eventually, the vase was hidden away. The Basano vase is believed to be one of the most cursed objects in the world. While this may be true, the validity of these claims cannot be tested as the whereabouts of the object are currently unknown. Allegedly, the vase was disposed of in a lead tomb. The tomb is buried in a secret location. It is believed that the tomb is buried on consecrated land, but that is not known for sure. Whether the vase is real or not is not known. Guess we'll just have to wait until another young person digs it up. All right, that was the Basano vase. Guys, let me know what you think about that one. And we will go ahead and jump into number 2 for the day. This one we are talking about the Native American legend of Deer Woman. Deer Woman, sometimes known as the Deer Lady, is a spirit of Native American mythology whose associations and qualities vary depending on situation and relationships. To women, children, and men who are respectful of women and children, she is associated with fertility and love. However, to those who have harmed women and children, she is vengeful and murderous, and known to lure these men to their deaths. She appears as either a beautiful young woman with deer feet or a deer. Deer women stories are found in multiple indigenous American cultures, often told to young children or by young adults and preteens in the communities of, forgive me if I butcher these names, I'm sorry, communities of the Oseti Sakowin, Ojibwe, Ponca, Omaha, Cherokee, Muskogee, Seminole, Choctaw, Oto, Osage, Pawnee, and Iroquois. And those are only the ones that have documented deer woman sightings. Some stories and traditions describe the sightings of deer woman as a sign of personal transformation or as a warning. Deer woman is said to be Deer woman is said to be fond of dancing and will sometimes join a communal dance unnoticed, leaving only when the drum beating ceases. Deer women show characteristics and traits of both sirens and succubi. The siren, according to the Theo Project, are monstrous sea nymphs that lure men to their deaths with their song. Succubi, as defined in the Merriam-Webster dictionary, are demons who take female form who have sexual intercourse with men in their sleep. Constant contact with the succubus can result in failing health or death for the men. Fiora of the Chiloé region in Chile causes deformation in anyone who looks upon her and will cast spells to confuse young woodsmen into sleeping with her. La Pazzola, literally one-footed, is a shapeshifter from Antioquia region of Colombia, who takes the form of a beautiful woman to lure men with her cries of fear. When the men, who are often causing harm in one way or another to the rainforest, come to her, she drops her beautiful mask and slaughters them in an effort to protect the forest. La Tunda, another nature spirit from Colombia, lures people of all walks of life to them with their song and then drains them of blood. La Tunda can also shapeshift, but she will always have a single leg of a molino that she is very careful to hide. The Brazilian Laura are beautiful warrior mermaids who were found by a man will charm him in her voice and beauty and either drown him or turn him into something like her and make him her lover. La Leona, the crier, who is found in Mexico and the southwest United States, is a female ghost who will kidnap the souls of children, effectively killing them, and whose cries brings irrevocable sorrow. Citing a La Lorna spells death for someone within the week. While all these spirits will lure away and or hurt others, they also have various physical oddities. The deer woman has hooves. Sirens are bird from the chest down. Succubi were originally portrayed as hideous and demonic. La Pastiola has no right leg from the pelvis down, and her right breast is fused to her arm. All right. Yes, that's all I've got for the deer woman. As always, guys, and I want to ask everyone, let me know what you think about these stories. If you want me to keep doing them, if you're enjoying them. If not, feedback I've gotten so far has been pretty good. People seem to want me to continue, but everyone has their own opinion. So just let me know what you think. And you guys can get me anytime you want to at Wayne at paranormalworldproductions.com. Shoot me an email. Let me know what you think of the show, just how everything's going. And if you have any suggestions for stories that you'd like for me to cover in the future, I'd love to hear those. Love to get those out there. All right, guys. Yeah, don't forget to please go rate and review the show. I can't stress enough how important that is. That means so much to the growth of this show and every podcast. That's how podcasts grow. I don't fully understand it. I don't know if anyone really does understand the algorithm. But the more reviews and ratings you get, the more your show is advertised in the different podcatchers. So please go rate and review the show wherever you get your podcast. I would greatly appreciate that, guys. All right. Want to remind everybody about Paranormal Odyssey Live, which can be found here every Friday night. This coming Friday, those of you that have been with Manimal from the beginning, my research organization, Manimal Research, my guest Friday is gonna be pretty familiar to you. My good buddy and brother from another mother, Mr. Derek Walls, is coming on. We're gonna talk about some of our adventures with Manimal. His first sighting is one for the record books, or I don't want to say sighting. His first believed encounter is just legendary. I'm sure he'll share it when he's on Friday, but yeah, don't want to give too much away. All right, guys, time to get out of here. I hope everyone is doing well out there. Hope everyone takes care of themselves, takes care of each other, and I'll see you later. Bye, guys.